Sometimes it's necessary to hand pollinate your vegetables in the garden. And today I'm going to show you how to do that with one of the easiest varieties, which is a pumpkin or part of the squash family. First off, we are going to talk about which flowers are which. So we have these two flowers right here, which are considered the male flower. I don't know all the technical terms for each of the flower parts, but basically they are the flowers that are found at the end of the long stems. Inside this male flower, you can see some of the pollen, some of which is laying on the side of the flower wall. Bees have already been in here this morning collecting, so some of that has been knocked off. Here we have the female flower, which is found on the end of the fruiting body. In this case, it is a sugar pie pumpkin. The middle part is sticky, and when the bees find these flowers, the pollen that has been collected on them from the male flowers will be stuck to the inside, and that is what pollinates the fruiting flower. When you hand pollinate, you want to do it in the early hours of the morning while the flower is still open. And your weapon of choice is nothing but a fancy little paintbrush. So I'm going to demonstrate how this is done. I'm going to actually reach inside the flower. Now you can take and rub on the side of this, or because there is some pollen, you can down here, you can actually take that. Now you can see that my paintbrush is loaded with some pollen, so I'm going to go over to the female flower over here. And ooh, look, there's a little bee in there. But what you would do is you would just take your brush and just wipe it onto these spots. Hand pollinating can be applied to things like cucumbers as well. Here we have a female flower on the end of a little cucumber, and right next to it we have a male flower. So you can just dip in there, grab some of the pollen, and rub it on the female flower. Here in the greenhouse, my watermelon is doing fantastic. We've got the watermelon with the female flower on the end, and then we have right next to it a male flower, which is just on a stem. So we just dip our paintbrush in here. Pick up some of the pollen. And then dab it down in this little flower. Hopefully that'll help us grow some nice big watermelons. Now I do have some decent bee activity going on. They are doing a fantastic job this morning. Sometimes I do just like to go through anyways and hand pollinate just because I can, and because I want to ensure that things are getting pollinated. I hope you enjoyed this quick little tutorial on how to hand pollinate your vegetables. So I hope that if you are not having a lot of bee activity, or you're just worried about pollination, I hope that you give this a try.